日はゾンビピクチャーショー、ドライブエナジーです。今、ボッカとコカ・コーラを飲んでいます。乾杯。この飲み物は強い、味がいいです。乾杯。実は僕はあなたが好きです。あなたは頭がいいだし、親切な人だと思いますから、しかし、多分、あなたは考え方はおかしいです。やっぱり、あなたは、すごくお上手ですね。これにしても、Doomsday Argument 絶対にわかりません。残念ながら今から英語ばかりで話すつもりです。残念ながら僕は日本語が下手です。そして仕方がない。
Yeah. Now, he calculated that by the year, let's round it off. He said the year 9,000. Well, let's just round it off to 10,000, just to be fair. 10,000. 1.2 trillion people are going to be born ever, and then that's it. He equated this by this. There's 60 billion people so far that were born and that are born so far. 60 billion. Then the total number of people will be another 60 billion, which equal to 1.2 trillion people ever. And then after that, the last human is going to feel so lonely that he's just going to fucking kill himself.
Okay, Zombie Picture Show. You use the word fucking there, and fucking is an interesting word because it can be used both as a gerund of the verb to fuck, and it can also be used as an intensifying adverb. For example, in the sentence, "What are you fucking doing? Fucking my wife." In the former example of the word fucking, it's used as an intensifying adverb, which implies an emotional attachment or investment of feelings into a particular situation. And in the latter example of the word fucking that I used in that sentence, it's used as a gerund of the verb to fuck, which is just purely descriptive in nature. So by using the word fucking there, you were clearly using it in terms of an intensifying adverb function, which leads me to believe that it was your use of that word in that context was motivated by emotion. And to be honest, I was looking forward to a rational, purely logical argument and debate surrounding the doomsday argument. But it seems already that your emotions are already heavily involved. Another problem I hear is the fact that you're apparently adding 60 billion to 60 billion and coming up with 1.2 trillion, which is a mathematical error. Because a trillion is 1,000 billion. So your maths is completely off here. The doomsday argument, and this is another misapprehension you seem to have here, the doomsday argument is purely a probabilistic argument based on Bayes' theorem. It argues that any randomly selected member of the human race, and you and I both fit into that category. You could take anybody, we've just randomly chosen a point here in time in terms of the amount of humans that have been born. If I'd been born 10 years earlier, I would be having this argument with you now, given my psychology. So my point is here, it's just purely a probabilistic argument. You know, if there's a 5% chance we are in the first 5% of Homo sapiens who will ever live, there's a 10% chance that we're amongst the first 10% of human beings who will ever live. There's a 50% chance that we're amongst the first 50% of Homo sapiens who will ever live. Now, if we are in the first 0.0000001% Homo sapiens who will ever live, that's an incredibly statistically significant event. I mean, that's extremely unlikely. Those are the sort of odds you're looking at if you think that the Homo sapiens are going to branch out into the universe and repopulate just populate the whole entire universe with lots of planets full of Homo sapiens everywhere. And I don't think that's going to happen. The odds are distinctly against that. I think the odds are more likely that we're somewhere halfway through, although when I factor into considerations all the different variables that I've discussed at length in my videos, then I would put forward the case that we're decidedly towards the latter scale of things, so we are coming towards the end of our time as a species on this planet. And just to clarify on that point, you've got the Homo sapien population reaching approximately 9-10 billion by the year 2050. You've got exponentially increasing advances in technology. You've got a global warming crisis. You've got natural resources. You've got an amygdala, a limbic system that governs human emotion, which is not rational. Human beings are irrational, self-serving animals. So there's a lot of potential for conflict there, and we are coming to a point in human history where everything is meeting together, and I think that it is a distinct possibility that this is going to render the Homo sapiens species extinct.